More evidence is coming out about Bria Hartley and the Sophie Cunningham attack. So, guys, it looked like more evidence is definitely coming out of the pipeline in regards to Sophie Cunningham and Bria Hartley. Now, we know there was a situation that took place in the second quarter of the game, possibly at the 8-minute, 9-second mark. That is a Bria Hartley, diving into the knees of Sophie Cunningham. Now, we know that play has since went viral, and I'm here to tell you more news is coming out in regards to Bria.
Imagine this. Bria Hartley is just minding her own business when suddenly, boom, a single photo of her laughing at Sophie Cunningham surfaces online. Within minutes, it's blowing up, trending faster than a cat in a shark costume riding a Roomba. But what's the deal? Was it shade? Pure comedy? Or maybe Sophie was just stuck in one of those, "Did I forget to turn the oven off?" moments. Nobody really knows, but the memes are exploding, the fans are losing it, and this story's getting juicier than the ripest summer watermelon.
Unfortunately, as of this second, we don't have an official update on Sophie Cunningham's injury. But what we do have is we've got one quote-unquote injury expert out there that did weigh in based on the camera angles of Sophie Cunningham's injury. We've also got a very interesting picture that has emerged with Bria Hartley smiling and laughing over this incident of Sophie Cunningham being hurt.
The internet is a bizarre kind of magic. One minute, people are locked in heated debates over politics, pineapple on pizza, or the mystery of vanishing AirPods. The next, the entire world seems fixated on a single blurry photo of a basketball player laughing. That's right, a laugh. Not a buzzer beater, not a record-breaking stat, not even a jaw-dropping dunk.
About it. We have to talk about this because obviously she went down. Sorry, and we got to look at the clips right here. So we're going to talk a little bit about whether or not I believe that it was just completely accidental, or whether or not there was some intent in this. So we're watching this right here. Bria Hartley comes up for the layup. She throws the pass and she immediately falls down on Sophie Cunningham's leg. So let's slow this down right here and let's basically watch this frame by frame. So Bria Hartley is throwing a pass right here. Kelsey Mitchell helps in. Sophie Cunningham, in fairness, is not fully helped over. Sophie Cunningham should be a step or two out.
It all started with one perfectly timed photo, Bria Hartley flashing a grin, while Sophie Cunningham just happened to share the frame. That single snapshot was enough to send social media into meltdown, like a spark hitting dry kindling. Bria wasn't trending for a 30-point game, a lockdown defensive effort, or a clutch buzzer beater. Nope. She went viral for smiling. Picture a future historian digging through digital archives and stumbling across the entry. On this day, the internet obsessed over whether Bria Hartley's laugh was pure joy or a subtle shot at Sophie Cunningham.
It's very, very sad and unfortunate what has happened to Sophie Cunningham. Sophie Cunningham, let's be clear here. Sophie Cunningham was targeted. Let's be very, very clear here. I can't play you the video because I did one and they flagged it and copyrighted all types of stuff. So I cannot show you the video, but Sophie Cunningham was flat out targeted by a dirty, dirty player. And if y'all go to my video last night, you will see me saying, watch out for Bria Hartley because she's a dirty ass.
And someday, future historians might end up writing entire dissertations about it. But let's hit rewind for a second, because to understand why this laugh lit up the internet, you first need to know who Bria Hartley is. She's not some rookie who tripped into the spotlight by chance. Bria has been in this league for years, carving out her place with grit, skill, and a steady confidence that doesn't need smoke machines or fireworks to make an entrance.
It's interesting, this injury expert speculates, doesn't think it's an ACL, maybe an MCL, or the thing that I considered when I saw it. I thought her knee dislocated is what I thought I saw, okay? Hell, I'm no doctor. I can tell you that right now, and we'll look at that in a second. But I got to tell you, this picture, and let me just show you right here. This is some video, of course, of her. Let me just turn this down. Limping off the court yesterday. The good thing is she did walk off the court, folks. You gotta say.
She's been flying under the radar for years. The kind of player who can fit seamlessly into any system and instantly bring value. Coaches see it, teammates feel it, and now, thanks to one perfectly timed laugh that spiraled into an international meme, fans are finally catching on. Bria has always carried a quiet presence. She's not loud, not messy, not out chasing headlines. What she does have, though, is timing. On the floor, that means sharp cuts, crafty defensive reads, and pulling the trigger on a jumper exactly when it matters. Off the floor? Apparently, it means her face getting caught at the exact millisecond Sophie Cunningham happened to be standing next to her. Coincidence? Maybe. Comedy gold? Definitely. And let's be real, this moment wouldn't have blown up if it were anyone else. Sophie Cunningham has a gravitational pull for drama. She's the league's master agitator, thriving on chaos and proudly wearing the role of irritator-in-chief. Some players just hoop. Sophie plays basketball and psychological warfare. So when you place Sophie, the professional instigator, next to Bria, the cool and unbothered veteran, you get a snapshot that feels less like a photo and more like a scene scripted by fate. Pure cinema.
Goes and rises. Sophie Cunningham should be a little bit more over. She throws the pass. She is off balance by the looks of things here. She kind of falls and then takes Sophie Cunningham down with her. It's hard to tell. And like, look, this is one of those things where it's like, if this wasn't Bria Hartley, I don't think anyone would be questioning if this, whether or not this was intentional. And then I've seen this one right here, Bria Hartley after it, where she's smiling, and I'm like, I don't know.
Sophie was in her natural state of competitive fire, and right beside her, Bria was cracking up like she just heard the funniest joke of her life, and that was all it took for the internet to completely lose it. Fans didn't just see a laugh, they saw a statement, a manifesto, a perfectly packaged dose of shade that could have been sold at Sephora. To them, Bria's laugh wasn't just a laugh, it was an entire monologue without a single word spoken. Interpretations flooded in from every corner of social media. She was laughing at Sophie's trash talk, laughing at her reputation, laughing because Sophie probably flopped again, or the classic take, she's laughing because Sophie Cunningham exists. The actual context didn't matter. Whether Bria was reacting to a teammate's joke a few feet away or something completely off camera, the narrative had already taken on a life of its own. And of course, this wasn't Sophie's first time caught in a viral storm. Her highlight reel of reactions, scuffles, and pure chaos has fueled WNBA Twitter for years. She's the kind of player you either love for her relentless energy or can't stand because she's always smack in the middle of the drama.
A lot of this right here. Everybody's saying, oh, Sophie just landed wrong. How is that Bria's fault? So what? Since I've been watching WNBA this year, I've noticed that Bria Hartley is the dirtiest player in the W. Now, if you don't think she's a dirty player, you know, I ain't got no choice but to respect your opinion. See, this is what we got to understand. With a player like that, that's reckless with their movement, they don't care if you get hurt. See, she's not purposely trying to hurt you. She's just being extremely reckless and doesn't mind if you get hurt. There's a lot of that goes on in the WNBA. They do a lot of malicious shit, and they don't really care what the outcome.
She's undeniably entertaining, and sports thrive on personalities like hers. But the flip side is that when a moment like this gets captured, the knee-jerk reaction is to assume she's the punchline. The genius of this viral photo lies in how little it actually reveals, yet how much it invites people to imagine. It's practically a Rorschach test for basketball fans. Everyone projects their own narrative onto it. Bria's supporters see her effortlessly putting Sophie in her place. Sophie's fans rush to insist it was nothing but bad timing, completely taken out of context. Casual viewers? They're just baffled that adults are writing essays about a laugh. Some dubbed it the laugh heard around the league. Others framed it as the ultimate clapback to Sophie's entire career. And then came the meme makers, who didn't even care about context. They just turned Bria's expression into the go-to reaction image for anything awkward or embarrassing. That's when the real comedy began. Fans started dissecting the photo like it was evidence from the Zapruder film, zooming in on pixels, parsing body language, debating eye angles. Was Bria's gaze locked directly on Sophie? Was the tilt of her head coincidence or a perfectly aimed signal? What began as a laugh suddenly felt like Exhibit A in a federal trial.
I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you guys. I know that sometimes it sounds like just a word when we talk about being resilient, but it's not, man. It's how we live. It's how y'all live, and it's a tribute to you. It's a tribute to your connectedness, your togetherness, your toughness, your mindset. You never give up gritty attitudes. Like, that's what it takes. That's what it takes, and we will never be counted out, because that is worth it.
The internet instantly turned into a swarm of amateur detectives, swearing Bria Hartley was guilty of first-degree shade. And yet, just by being in the frame, Sophie Cunningham became the accidental star of the moment. If you followed her career, you know this is nothing new. Sophie is a magnet for drama. She doesn't even have to try. The second she walks into a room, chaos follows like it's her personal entourage. That's her superpower. Some players dominate with sheer athleticism, others with pure skill. Sophie? She dominates by sparking reactions. She feeds off it. So when this photo hit the timeline, nobody hesitated. They assumed Sophie had lit the fuse, and Bria's laugh was the explosion. But let's be real. This isn't about Bria being shady or Sophie being clueless. Somehow, we've ended up dissecting a laugh like it's a global scandal. Was it intentional shade or just a person laughing in the moment? At this point, it almost doesn't matter. The internet has already delivered its verdict. Bria laughed, Sophie got pulled into the crossfire, and the rest of us are left enjoying the fireworks.
Man, let me find out these wrestlers ain't doing their job and shit, man. I'm trying, I gotta do some research. I gotta see what the clip was, where I was just scrolling like social media and I just seen the news, wherever. And I think her sister posted something about, the refs wasn't doing something right, or calling the game, officiating the game a certain way that probably, was, I wouldn't say responsible, but caused, whatever. I just gotta figure this shit out, man. Because it's Sophie Cunningham, right? I haven't watched that many games, watched some highlight stuff over the, past season and whatnot. So I know I'll tune in once the playoffs hit, because that's just how I am with just WNBA, NBA, basketball.
The magic of this viral moment isn't just the snapshot itself, it's what people did with it. Sports fans have always had a knack for turning the smallest moments into epic sagas, but WNBA Twitter took it to another level. They broke down Bria Hartley's laugh like it was a newly discovered ancient manuscript. Suddenly, timelines were filled with people zooming in on her smile, debating the tilt of her cheekbones, and declaring this wasn't mere amusement. It was precision-grade mockery. One fan even swore Bria's laugh had layers. The warm-up chuckle, the mid-tier snicker, and finally the finishing grin that screamed, "I can't even take this person seriously." Captions poured in, from when your ex's new partner looks like a clearance mannequin, to when you realize Sophie Cunningham just racked up her fourth unnecessary foul in 5 minutes. The creativity was off the charts. Bria's laugh stopped being just hers. It became a shared cultural artifact, remixed and reinterpreted like an open-source project for the entire internet.